can y'all hear me? Yeah. Hey, welcome to the 32nd Annual Mountain Mist Trail Run. You know, I think our numbers are going to be a little down this year. Because I think a lot of people have been scared about the weather. Am I right? Is it just me? Have y'all been paranoid about the weather? Yeah. Is the weatherman hit y'all as well? You know, people are sending me messages and emails, and it's going to take me 6 months to reply to all these emails. We have to rent this lodge a year ago, and I don't think people understand all the logistics that go into putting these races on. You know, the shirts, football, everything is planned so many months in advance. There's no way we can predict what's going to happen on the weather. Now, you old timers that's been coming to Mountain Mist for a long time, is this anything new? No, it's not. 26 years ago, we got to the starting line, not 30 minutes before the start, it started sleeting. About 30 minutes before the start. If you didn't get here on time, you didn't make it up the mountain. No joke. There was about 35 cars that got stranded at the bottom. They did not make it to the starting line. Some of them found other ways around, parked in weird places, and literally ran up here and still ran the race. It's a crazy year, but we can't predict the weather. You know, I did have a talk with Dwayne at his bench a couple of days ago about making some, you know, special favors for this race, and so far it's been working. If we can just get everybody to the starting line tomorrow, I'll be real happy. One thing I did this year different that I haven't ever done before is the top 19 numbers were based on how many times you finished the race. Number one is Lonnie Bogan right here. He's sitting right here. He's going for finish number 29. He's going for number 29. Number 2 was Sally Brookins. I think she's got 26.
I'm going for number 30.
You're going for number 30? No, it's 29. I think. There's a 30. Myers got him at 29. I think he's got confused. It's been so many years and all the bumps on the head. And we're running this race. But anyway, is there any first timers here? Very good. There's a lot. A lot of first timers. I kind of feel like in today's times, there was going to be, all the first timers will be the ones that didn't even attempt to come. Because, you know, the weather, of course. But good luck out there on your first time. You just got to keep pressing forward. We're giving you more time to finish now than we ever have before. You get 9.5 hours. I always tell people the very first Mountain Mist, no one finished over 7 hours. No one. Last place was 6:56 in the first Mountain Mist. Kind of crazy. Only 36 finishers in the first Mountain Mist. At the time, it was the only trail race in the state of Alabama. I felt like we had to get Alabama kind of caught up with the times and get some trail running going, and that's how the race started 32 years ago. I had some people finish that very first one and said, I think this race is going to be a classic, and I think it has been. I think it's been a classic race. Like I said, it's one of the older races in the South, probably one of the oldest trail races in the Southeast. And I've been here for all 32 of them somehow. I don't know how. I'm thankful for that, but I'm going to try to keep pressing forward. I don't try to send out negative emails or anything like that. I just kind of say it like it is. You know, we've got to keep pressing forward and just see what happens. You know, there's no guarantees we're going to be up here tomorrow. You know, that weather could change. If it ices this mountain over, you can't get up, you can't drive on ice. It's not going to happen. But we got to prepare and keep moving forward. You know, it's up to the individuals whether they're going to be here tomorrow. I'm hoping that everything will kind of wait till y'all get out there and then the ice falls off. Nothing would make me happier to see y'all get out there and do some soccer. You know, make this a real awesome. Yeah, it's just a 50K. This isn't Todd's Pinhoti 100. You're not out there all night and sleep deprivation and all that other good stuff. This is just a little old 50K. This is a short ultra marathon. You can't get any shorter than an ultra really than a 50K. So all you got to do is the pace is, what is it? We got it on the ultra sign up, but you got an average per section. It's not that tough. You can do it. Just keep moving forward and don't spend too much time at the aid stations. The guy that runs the first and last aid station named Josh Kennedy, he got his 10-time finisher jacket a long time ago, he said, I want to help with the race. I put him on that aid station because Brady, the guy that did it for the first 20 years, passed away. He was in his 90s. I mean, he was running that station, and Josh took it over. So there's only been 2 people running those 2 stations all 32 years. The second aid station, Brent and Ren and the guy, his buddy John, they've been running that station for 26 years. This is their 26th year to run that station. I've got a new guy at aid station 3, but this is going to be an upgrade. Or no, it's not. He's pretty new. He's Dave Collins down at Oak Park. They'll be fine down there. My new guy's at 4, which is a land trust. If you're in the past, if you've had crews meet you at land trust, you're not going to be able to this year. The first 25 Mount Mist ran on a trail called Old Tollgate. It's a real rocky trail. You cross Fern and you went down Old Tollgate. They're turning that into a greenway now, of all things, which is kind of crazy. You will see that during the race tomorrow because you will cross that new greenway on your way to the land trust. But they are literally paving a greenway all the way from Land Trust parking lot to the hairpin turn right there at Closed Bankhead. Probably make it a little safer because there are a lot of cyclists that go up and down Bankhead. It's dangerous as heck. But that greenway will be nice for a lot of people. But we just crossed that now. Funny that we ran it for 25 years and we took it out because we added Oak Park, which is, adds to the elevation gain of this course, which was real nice for y'all. But anyway, Tony Scott's running that aid station. This will be his first year, but anybody knows Tony Scott knows he goes way beyond on aid stations. You're going to have a hard time leaving that aid station. And it's also the Fireball aid stations at 20 miles there. If you want to shot a fireball there, it'll be there. And then the Rocket City Tri Club is still running the panorama, or the aid station up there at the Bureau Museum at Cross Springs. And those guys get real excited. It's like this is their highlight of the year is running that aid station. So everybody's a volunteer here. Muscle Track Club is a non-profit. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I do keep that entry fee pretty low. If you register early at $85, it's a great deal. I mean, you get a shirt, hat. We got the finisher slate again for the 21st year. Each one hand painted. Pretty cool scene this year. You know, the Ultra Sign-Up's got the guy running across the water line. That's what the finisher slate looks like this year, except it's a skeleton running across the water line. It's really cool. Make sure you get to the finish so you get that finisher slate. Most people, there's a lot of people that know this course. Now, we mark it with green flags all on your right-hand side. And I literally put turn plates up at every intersection with an arrow on it. I try to make it as easy to follow as possible. I had a girl run the entire course yesterday and she didn't have any problems. If somebody messed with the course, they would have had to done it today or tonight. And hopefully they won't. Just follow the dirty footprints in front of you. There's enough people running this course that know it. If you look on that Garmin, on the Ultra Sign Up there, you can click and get it. People do load those courses on their watches these days. It'll tell you how to do it. But anyway, there are pie plates. A lot of them have fallen, but I've been out on the course all week, like I said, and they're all back up. And hopefully, I'm just hoping we get to the starting line tomorrow. Does anybody want a course tour? Let me tell you about the course at all, or y'all want to just see what happens. The course starts right here. We took out Cold Springs Trail a few years back, and we keep it on the road for the first couple of miles because with 500 people, it's very crowded, and this gives it some room to spread out. I had hundreds of people wanting to get in this race after the 525. Well, why can't you just add one more? Because every time you add somebody, it makes the trails more and more crowded, and I can tell you the trail's going to be crowded enough as it is with what we have. And it just makes it hard to keep adding people, and that's why I only typically order 525 numbers, and that's why when I say I'm out of numbers, I'm out. I don't like to have any extras because it doesn't tempt me to keep letting people in. But anyway, you run straight down Old Bankhead, which I think is a beautiful area. You hop on the Mount Mist Trail, you come up to the first aid station at O'Shaughnessy Point. You're really the first. Till you get to the third aid station, it's pretty easy running. You leave O'Shaughnessy Point and go off Warpath 3. It's just kind of a little hairy going off of that drop-off there. And then you get on the goat trail. head over to Keys Trail, work your way to the Stone Cuts. You know, it's smooth running. It's fast running. I can tell when I'm marking the course that on this first half of the course, my average pace is always a lot faster on the first half than it is the second half. Even though I'm marking it, I can just tell. So it is faster. So if you're out there and you first timers going, this is nothing. This is easy. Hold your breath. Don't get carried away too quick, because this course has been designed to get harder as it goes. Not only are you adding distance, it just gets harder. The Stone Cuts is a fun thing. You're literally kind of running through a couple of underground sections on caves. We could have avoided that, but what fun would that be? It's gone through the Stone Cuts this will be 32 years it's gone through the Stone Cuts. It's kind of fun. Just be careful. There's no bears there or anything like that. It's just kind of dark. Just watch your footing, but it's very short and it's fun. But when you leave there, you'll go through the sinks. Again, real pretty, good running, and work your way to the next aid station. And you'll hop back out on a closed Bankhead Road and start heading your way down to Oak Park. Mostly all downhill Oak Park. It's literally only about 3 miles from one aid station to the next. When you get to Oak Park, that's when you start picking up porta-johns. There's porta-johns at Oak Park. It's easy access for your crews. If you've got a crew, Oak Park's probably the place to be. Unless you know this course well, there are places you can go if you just need to know where to park. When you get a race this size, it also affects parking on crews. Oak Park, there's plenty of parking. You got a crew, have them meet you there. Good place. Once you leave Oak Park, that's when the fun begins. You're literally at the very bottom of Monte Sano, and you're working your way all the way back up. You start working your way up the Oak Park Trail, and you cross. This is your first road crossing. There's usually police there, and it's pretty safe. But if there's no police there, they were late last year. You never know. Just be careful crossing the roads. But you'll cross there, go up dummy line, and work your way through Land Trust. Land Trust is where it kind of starts getting really rocky. People think of this race as being rocky, but it's really not until you get to Land Trust. And just watch where you're stepping, man. It gets rocky. But there are still high trails, really good running. The only new section, we got a new section on the course this year. We're turning right on a trail called Karate Monkey. And for all you folks on Strava, push it down Karate Monkey. That is a Strava segment. Down Karate Monkey. It's called Karate Chop. But it's a really fun trail, and it literally all it's done is eliminate our two-way traffic at the top of Waterline, which I hated because it was kind of confusing right there in the last couple of years. So Karate Monkey's making the course flow a little smoother. There's no out and back right there. And then you'll hit high trail, Karate Monkey, and then Bluff Line. Bluff Line takes you to the aid station where Tony Scott will be, and that is the only two-way traffic. Because there's a pavilion there, and you got to run to the pavilion, and then you got to turn around and come back out and take a ride on railroad bed. But it is marked very well. Me and Tony were out there Sunday checking it out, and then he was out there today making sure he's got it marked really well. Like I said, try not to spend too much time at his aid station, because he'll baby you. He'll give you hot drinks, and he'll probably have heaters there, and just everything that can keep you in an aid station. So try to avoid it. You need to get in there and get out of there. The clock's going to be running. Once you leave his aid station, that's where, to me, the race really becomes challenging. You start on a trail called Low Railroad Bed, which is literally the used to be a railroad that ran through there from a hotel up here on the mountain a long, long time ago. That's where they used to come up here. And Monte Sano means Mountain of Health. And people in the 1940s would come up here and relax and try to be healthy. And there was a train that rode around the mountain. It was like for amusement. But you're getting on where that train used to ride, and that's why it's called Low Railroad Bed. And it gets rocky as heck through there. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's rocky as heck. The good news is it's pretty flat on Low Railroad Bed. And kind of, if you get a chance to look around, you can see some of where the old trestles. You can envision seeing a train going over these sections that you're going to be running down and through. It's really cool. If you listen real hard, every now and then you can still hear the train. Somebody will hear the train mark. I can guarantee you. You'll hear a train whistle when you're running on Low Railroad Bed. I actually heard the train whistle when I was marking it a couple of days ago, out checking the course. And to be realistic, there is a train that runs on Highway 72, and you can hear that train So I like to pretend it is the train that used to run on Old Railroad Bed, but it reminds me. But once you get off of Old Railroad Bed, there's a really cool section. You see a lot of pictures. If you look at the Facebook page, there's a picture of Dwayne Satterfield. He's on that section that runs underneath one of the trestles, and there's like a wooden bridge going across. Really cool area. I think Spencer's been there taking pictures a lot of years, so it's kind of fun. But again, after you leave Railroad Bed, you're going to turn left on a trail called Alms House. And Alms House, this great running, but the further you get down Alms House, the rockier it gets. To me, it's one of the rockiest sections of the whole course is down at the bottom of Alms House. I mean, it gets to where, like, if you fall, you're in the hospital. It's that simple. It's bad rocks. They're not spaced properly. I see some heads shaking over here. Yeah, I hate that section too. The good news is it's taking you to a water line, and when you take a water line, it's straight and smooth for a while. The only problem is it's gradually going up. And then the last probably, I don't know, half mile going up water line, you probably gain, I don't know, 800 feet to 1,000 feet, and you got to go up the side of a waterfall. You got to cross it a couple of times. Somebody put a lot of new ropes there in the last couple of weeks, I saw. And Eric Chris was asking me, do I want to take the ropes down? And I did not want the ropes down. I like those ropes there. They're better than the roots and stuff and rocks that you had to grab before. I kind of like having the rope, especially as slippery as it was a couple of days ago when it was raining. It's a little dangerous. Don't fall. Because you will fall a long way if you fall off the back of that waterfall. Trust me, you will. Just hang on to stuff, make sure you got good sure footing, and pull yourself up waterline. The flags are going straight up waterline on the waterfall there. If you look to your left, you can kind of sneak around it. You don't have to do that climb. I kind of wish they would mark it that way, but I don't. They'll mark it. They want you all doing the hand over foot climb up, and that's fine. But if you look to your left, you can kind of dart around it. It's a little bit muddier there, but you don't have to climb up that water line right there in that one little section. That's a free secret y'all getting to know by being here tonight. And you will see the water line. It's literally a pipe from where they used to run water in that thing somehow. But once you get up that, you're going to cross the water line again, and then it's just going to go straight up. It's just a gnarly climb, just like this. It's so much fun. I love that climb. It's one of my favorite places to train and get ready for Todd's race, Mount Cheehaw, because of Blue Hell. But you can, once you get to the top, it's smooth sailing over to Monticello Boulevard. You've got to be there by 2:15. What is that? 7 hours and 15 minutes, I think. You've got to be there by 2:15. If you don't, you're out of the race. There's a couple other checkpoints you got to be at. That's the hardest one. You've got 2 hours and 15 minutes to get from Monticello Boulevard back to this lodge. It's just under 6 miles. 2 hours and 15 minutes, just under 6 miles. You should be able to do that. I did McKay yesterday, checking markings. And to me, McKay, you folks that's run Mount Miss before, McKay was in as good a shape as I've seen it in a while. I was really surprised. It was super dry. If this sleet and rain and stuff will just stay away for just a little while longer, the descent into McKay Hollow is no joke. The footing's terrible, but it was semi-dry yesterday. Pretty darn dry. They used to call from the bottom of McKay over to the Rest Shelter Hill, they call that Slush Mile. Reckon why they call it Slush Mile? Because it's always been so muddy down in the bottom of McKay Hollow. My feet didn't even get dirty yesterday. Again, if the snow, ice, or whatever the hell is supposed to be coming tomorrow, you can just stay away for a little while. The trails are in great shape. They really are. And then there's really only three hills in this race. And then at the end of Slush Mile, you've got to go up Rest Shelter Hill. That's a fun little climb. And then when you get to the top, they usually have beer at that station, and it's only 1.8 miles of smooth sailing flat back to here. Real easy. All I can tell you is just hope the weather holds up. I think everybody will be ready to rock and roll. I think the trail's going to be less crowded than it has been in years tomorrow, because I think we're going to have so many no-shows. My hat's off to everybody that just showed up today, whether we get to run tomorrow or not, because I had so many people messaging me, well, should I come? Well, should I cancel my flight? Well, should I cancel my hotel? I can't answer all those questions. I know one year I was going to run the Boston Marathon, and there was questions of whether there was going to be flight delays and this and that. You know what I did? I left 2 days early so I could go run Boston. I want to run the Boston Marathon. So I made sure I got there. I wasn't going to miss it because of weather or whatever. I could have got there and the race got called off, who knows? But I felt like I needed to take my chances, and I appreciate everybody taking their chances on this race because we're still gambling. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. We have no idea. If you look at the shirts this year, the shirts are yellow. Never had a yellow shirt before. I thought they turned out pretty darn good. I thought they looked really cool. We made those shirts. Graham Gallimore had been in charge of my sweepers. He got his 10-time finisher jacket many years ago, and then he said, well, I'm going to volunteer from now on. I'm getting older. And he took over managing my sweepers. So I didn't have to fool with that. Graham handled it. He had people sweeping, and he had, he was an engineer, so he had all this stuff planned out the way he wanted to do it. I didn't have to worry about it. Well, Graham's 80, and this past year he had a stroke. And he used to come up on this mountain every single day, 6 a.m., usually before sunrise, and get out on the trails. Well, he had that stroke, and it landed him in a wheelchair, of all things. Terrible. We didn't know if he was going to live. Me and Jeannie went to see him in the hospital after he first had the stroke, and it just did not look good. He did survive. Unfortunately, it's really affected his quality of life. He can't come up here on the mountain anymore like he used to. He gets up here every now and then on his wheelchair. But overall, he can't do what he wants to do. He's very unhappy. So I was like, and anybody knew Graham, he always had yellow on. Yellow was his color. His new wheelchair is yellow. It's pretty awesome. I'm hoping he can get up here to the race tomorrow. I don't know if he will or not. I don't know if somebody's going to be able to go get him. I haven't had time to check on him because I've just been overwhelmed with the race and the weather and everything. But anyway, yellow is his color. That's why the shirts are yellow. I probably wouldn't have ever picked yellow, but I did it for Graham. Also on the back of the shirts, that is a note that Dwayne Satterfield left me. Dwayne, for you newcomers, Dwayne ran the first 25 Mountain West Trail runs. He won it 9 times. He probably won the Masters at least 9 times. He ran it in under 5 hours, probably 22 times, maybe out of the 25 he ran it. Dwayne gets cancer, heart cancer, very rare cancer. 6 months later, he's no longer with us. But I was with Dwayne a few days before he died. I promised him that I would never let the race forget about him. And he left me that note, and that's his handwriting and everything, and we put that on the back of the shirt, and that's been on the shirt ever since we lost Dwayne. Now, I don't know where the time's gone. Still missing. There is a bench on Overall Bed, which is his favorite section of the course. That rocky section I was telling you about, that's where he always made his move. If anybody was with him in Overall Bed, they better watch out because he would take off. And he had ankles made of rubber. It's like, I've never seen ankles move the way his did. He would carry on a conversation and he would be rolling his ankles. They would hit the ground and he'd keep carrying on a conversation like it never happened. It was the craziest thing running with that dude. But anyway, his bench is there if you want to stop and say hello. He's usually at the bench during the race, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, that's why that's on the back of the shirt. I think it's very fitting. He was kind of a poet, and I like what he wrote on the back of the shirt. So y'all might watch out for that Brahma bull out there too, because it's right behind you. I promise you. We get up here early. I recommend getting here early, at least 1 hour before the race. I recommend that for sure for this race or any race you're running, because you just never know. We've got bathrooms inside here, as you've well seen, back here. I've also got porta-johns over here. There's plenty of parking. Once these parking lots fill up, they start going right up this little dirt road, working their way up to the next parking lot. But get here early, you get a decent parking place. We will start at 7 o'clock, right on the dot, unless something happens. I keep asking myself, what am I going to do if the freaking ice storm hits at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning and we can't get up here? Well, if you look at the forecast, it might melt. I guess I'll be sending out a message trying to delay it a couple hours and get it started. Right now, my intentions are to start at 7 a.m. We've only had one delay in the last 31 years. And it, of course, was for snow and ice, and you couldn't get up here on this mountain. It was terrible. We actually delayed the race 24 hours, and we ran it the next day. It was not, a lot of people couldn't stay, but we still had the race, and that was what I really wanted to do, was have the race. But yeah, 7 a.m., we will start on time. At the finish line, you're responsible for, they'll hand you a card, you take that card, you go get your slate. We don't do any kind of award ceremony, but we do have age group awards. And, as soon as the results are ready for that, you can get your award and leave. We'll have a band in here typically playing some music. We'll have some fires going. We got beer. We got Marco's Pizza. We got Great American Cookie Company. We got stuff going on. You're welcome. I would think a lot of people are going to try to finish and get out of here and get home, because we don't know what this freaking weather's going to do. I mean, it looks terrible all over the U.S. And like I said, I don't know where y'all came from, but I appreciate you being here, because I know you may or may not get home for a little while. It's supposed to get really cold here on Sunday, is what I've been seeing. It looked like, and it really doesn't get cold till Sunday night. So I even saw it could be in the 40s on Sunday morning. If it's in the 40s here Sunday morning, the roads should be fine. Like I said, it was 58 degrees here 2 days ago. That helps to me keep the ground warmer, and hopefully things will be better there. But anyway, don't send me any complaints, because I don't pay much attention to them. No, I'm just kidding. If there's something you didn't like, I try not to take it to heart too bad. My feelings don't get hurt too easy after doing this for 32 years. But I do appreciate everybody, and I want everybody here to have a good time. Whether you're first or last, you're just important to me. I try to treat everybody the same. I don't know if you noticed, I don't really do anything special for your first overall run. His slate says first overall on it. That's the only difference. You get the exact same slate that the first runner gets on whether you finish last. Because I feel like every finisher here is a winner and an important person. So, because it's a big accomplishment finishing this race. It's huge. I was talking about Lonnie going for his 29th finish, or whatever number it is. Is anybody in here going for a 10-time finisher jacket? I know, Todd Henderson. Todd's going for his 10-time finisher jacket. I know Carl Laniak, he lives up in the mountains of South Carolina somewhere. He's the only runner going for his 20-time jacket, and he texted during and said he's on his way. So I expect Carl will be here. I've already had a couple of 10-time finisher jacket folks already know they're not going to show up. Very worried about the weather. Is there anybody in here that's finished more than 10? Who is that?
Eric Patterson.
Oh, that's Eric Patterson. I see you, Eric. How many you got, Eric?
15.
15. That's pretty good. 5 more, you get 20 jackets.
That's right.
Anybody else got more than 10 in here? Eric, in fact, Eric Fritz right here, he started Mountain Mist when I started the slate. So I don't have to keep up with all the slate, because I know he's got them all. So he'll be going for his 21st slate, which means he'll be going for his 21st finish. That means he's got a low number. Like I said, the first 20 runners, their numbers are based on how many finishes they got. So Lonnie's wearing number 1. And I imagine, what number are you, Fritz? He's number 5. So there's 4 people that's got more than 21 finishes ahead of him in this race tomorrow. Pretty cool. I think it's good when you can get one race locked in, and that's your race, and you can get a lot of finishes. I'm a big fan of that. But good luck. Anybody got any questions for me while I'm standing up here? Because I don't prepare this speech. It just kind of rattles off the top of my head. I don't have anything else.
I got something to say.
What you got, Lonnie?
And Mike?
Come on. Come on. This is Lonnie now. He's going for his 29th finish.
I just wanted everybody to know we've got to really thank Dink and all these volunteers. All these stress. I couldn't imagine doing it, and none of us could be running like this with all these volunteers not helping out.
You're right.
And another thing, quick story, because I'll never forget this. I was 30, I'm going to be 70 this summer.
7 years old.
So I was a young guy, 36 years old. I ran all my 5Ks and 10Ks, and I kind of got, I don't want to say burnt out, but I was looking for something else. And I saw something on a local college magazine newsletter, and it talked about two guys, Jake Taylor and Dwayne Satterfield, doing Western States and this 100-mile trail run. And I was like, oh my God. My light came on. I said, that's what I want to do from here on out. So I called Dink up. I got a hold of him. Somehow.
Landline, too.
Yeah, I know. And I said, hey, Dink, my name's Lonnie Bogan. I want to learn how to do this trail run and ultra run and stuff. Because I know who you are. Meet me up in Montesano tomorrow morning. And that was it. That started the whole thing.
That was fun times. That was fun times. I do remember we would meet up here on Saturday mornings, and I'm like, if y'all want to start learning this course, let's get out here and learn it. Or I'll show it to you. So we're out here running, and we got lost. Because, in fact, I started running these trails in 1986, and I literally was the only one up here running. There was no one else running trails up there. I would see an occasional hiker. Forget the mountain bikers. They were nowhere here around yet. It was just a few hikers, but I can remember us getting lost around Stone Cuts. Remember that time? I'm like, I think I know where I am. But it was fun times. And special thanks to my wife, Jeannie. She's there for me to bounce off all my complaints and my whining, and she works really hard, just like I do. It ain't just me. It's good to have a good partner next to you, helping you get through this thing. Because I'm going to tell you, even after doing it for 32 years, it's still pretty stressful. Especially when you see the weather forecast what we had on Tuesday. It's very stressful. But I do appreciate her, and I love her dearly. And she has to put up with me, which is a lot. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Good luck tomorrow, and I hope to see y'all at the finish line. Y'all eat some more.